Good Karma Brands radio station.
Michael K. is on the radio today, and he ain't afraid to say what he's thinking. It's the Michael K. Show on 880 ESPN Radio.
And a good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show. We thank you for joining us on this Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. Michael K. and you for two. Those are the rules of engagement. The fastest 2 hours in sports talk radio right here on ESPN New York every Monday through Friday from 1 to 3. Got to be impressed with the Toronto Blue Jays. You got to be impressed with them. After Game 3, the 18-inning game where they lost on the walk-off by Freddie Freeman, you could understand them coming out flat yesterday. You can understand them with their tail between their legs. You can understand them not being at the top of their game. You know, down in the dauber, so to speak. That was not the case at all. This team has battled all year. This team plays hard. This team is smart. This team is resilient. This team does what it has to do to win. The pitching matchup did not favor them with Ohtani against Bieber, but Bieber pitched quite well into the sixth inning. Ohtani pitched quite well into the seventh inning. Then you could see he got tired. He was on base 9 times the previous game, which ended on the same day as the day that he started. And the Blue Jays won yesterday 6-2. The World Series is now tied at 2 games apiece. And some interesting stats when it comes to that. 27 LCS and World Series, best of 7 series, have gone to 2-2. And it makes tonight's Game 5 all the more important. The team that wins Game 5, that breaks the 2-2 tie, ends up winning the series 18 times out of the 27. So that's 66.7%. Certainly not insurmountable if you lose tonight, but we'll see. It's the kid, Trey Savage, against Blake Snell. But if you're not impressed, I know there are Yankee fans that don't like that the Blue Jays celebrated the way they did and played New York, New York. But as I said at the time, to the victors go the spoils. This team is not a litany of stars. But they are so good. The sum of the parts is so good. The parts are not littered with superstars. You take a look at this team, and there's really one global superstar, and that's Vlad Guerrero. Now, flying under the radar in terms of being a superstar, to me, is Alejandro Kirk. He is special. He doesn't look special. Doesn't look like your prototypical great player. He's a great player. Great hitter, great catcher. And when he's healthy, Bo Bichette is an outstanding hitter. Not a good shortstop. That's why it makes me laugh that there are actually some people out there that toy with the idea, well, maybe the Yankees should go after Bo Bichette to play shortstop instead of Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe plays shortstop and runs circles around Bo Bichette when it comes defensively. Offensively, different world, different story. I mean, Bo Bichette's a 300 hitter. He can really, really hit. He's not a great fielder. I'm wondering. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what the market is for Bo Bichette. You know, people throw out number. I'll get $30 million a year. Really? For a guy who can't play shortstop? He's a sub shortstop. He's not even an average defensive shortstop. So who's paying him 5 years at $30 million a year? I don't know. Maybe it's out there. I sometimes I read numbers and I roll my eyes and I go, well, those are agents, planting numbers with, favored writers and whatever the case may be. And I like Bo Bichette as a player in terms of a hitter, but I'm not investing that kind of money in Bo Bichette as a shortstop. Anyway, I digress. Just look around the Blue Jays team. Grinders. They're grinders. That's what they are. They played yesterday without George Springer, who's a legitimate great postseason player. So you got guys like Miles Straw. You got guys like Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. You've got Addison Barger. You've got guys like Ernie Clement. Not household names. The household names in their house. But people, the baseball cognoscenti, so to speak, they know them because they're grinders. They're gamers. It would have been so easy for them to come out flat and despondent yesterday, and they didn't. And the big blow to me that changed the whole game was Vlad Guerrero's 2-run home run against Ohtani, a sweeper that kind of hung up in the zone. That completely erased the aura of invincibility. Now, they didn't crush Ohtani by any stretch of the imagination. He's still unbelievable. Still was great, but I think he tired in the 7th inning. He left the game with runners on 2nd and 3rd. They went to the bullpen. The bullpen didn't do the job, which is what we expect out of the Dodgers. And they scored 4 runs. They turned it to 6-1. Then the Dodgers threatened in the 9th inning, but that only went so far. 6-2 final. Blue Jays win. A guy who's become a really important player for them, Chris Bassett, who's been automatic out of the bullpen. He's been really good. This is a starter. And he has given them valuable innings out of the bullpen, as he did yesterday as well. So the Dodgers were the team that looked a little flat. They were the ones who looked a little flat. And I can understand that too. What an emotional game they played in Game 3. Really emotional. But the Blue Jays did what they had to do. And it's a series. Remember, I picked the Blue Jays in 6. I'm one of the few people in this country that picked the Blue Jays. Because they have a little something. I think the Dodgers are a better team from 1 to 26. But sometimes that doesn't play out. I think the Yankees are a better team from 1 to 26 than the Blue Jays. But again, some of the parts, it all works together. They play really hard. And they made some savvy moves, too. Getting Shane Bieber turned out to be a really savvy move. Former Cy Young Award winner. Now, I know the year he won the Cy Young was the COVID year, and he only pitched against Central teams. So I don't think he's as great as we think he is, but he knows how to pitch. Coming off Tommy John surgery, and he gave them a game that they really, really needed yesterday. Really needed. 4 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 5 1/3 innings. Because if he would have gotten aired out early, if he would have really struggled, they might not have been able to survive. They might not have left L.A. But now we know there's going to at least be a Game 6 in Toronto, which is what the Dodgers didn't want. And if you were a Yankee fan, not to bring up a bad memory, all you wanted was that World Series last year to get to Game 6. That's all you wanted. And it looked like you were on your way before that 5th inning that will live in infamy. If they got that to a Game 6 in L.A., with the Dodgers pitching in the shape that it was in, the starters were awful. They were going to have to go with a bullpen game in one of the Game 6 or 7. I truly believe the Yankees had a chance to be the second team to come back from down 3-0. But they couldn't do it in Game 5. They couldn't do it in Game 5. Now, one thing that I want to not clean up, because I don't think that I presented it in a clunky way, but I think that people heard it in a clunky way. I talked a lot yesterday following the Game 3 where Ohtani was intentionally walked 4 times and then intentionally walked the 5th time. That was after he'd gone 4 for 4 in his first 4 at-bats. And I'm reading social media last night, and people were going, well, if the players behind him, they get hits, that makes them pay. That makes them pay for that strategy. And then I heard other people say, yeah, but that you don't want to take strategy out of the game. It's not like you're taking him out of the game as a non-factor. He now becomes a base runner. Okay, that wasn't my point. I understand the strategy, and I enjoy the strategic aspect of baseball. What I was trying to say, and again, I hope I made myself clear, was for the good of baseball as an entertainment property. Okay? You don't walk arguably one of the greatest players who ever lived. You want that guy to be able to perform on stage, on the biggest stage in the world, where everybody's watching. I mean, there are 3 countries at least that are gripped by this: Japan, Canada, and the United States, and probably other countries as well. That was my point. I understand that you make him a base runner. I understand that it puts pressure on Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman to perform. I get all that. I'm not a dunce. But what you don't get is what I was saying was you want to put your best foot forward. You want your best people to perform or be able to perform. Do you understand what I'm saying now? You want him to be on stage and perform. You don't want to take the microphone out of his hand. You don't want to take the bat out of his hand. How could people not understand what I was saying? I'm saying for the good of baseball as an entertainment product. Isn't it better if Shohei Ohtani hits rather than watches John Schneider put up 4 fingers? I understand the strategy, and it was really well done by Schneider. I saw him do it with Aaron Judge. And when he did it, and did it as many times as he did to Aaron Judge in that 4-game series where the Yankees got swept in Toronto, that changed the whole season. That put the Blue Jays in the first place. They never looked back, and that was eventually, those 4 games turned out to be really important in the tiebreaker. So they both finished with 94 wins, but the Blue Jays got the bye because they beat the Yankees 8 out of 13 times. So his strategy works. I'm not questioning the strategy or the use of it. I'm questioning the strategy existing. You want the world to see this guy perform. How did people not get what I was saying? It makes no sense to me how you could hear something that I think I'm articulating quite clearly. I know the history of the intentional walk. I know it puts pressure on the guy after you. You get the job done. Because the Yankees actually did quite well this year in games in which Aaron Judge was intentionally walked. I think that in the at-bats after that, they hit over 300. So they did make them pay. But for the people that paid to go to the ballpark or the people that were watching on TV, do you think it benefits Major League Baseball that Aaron Judge doesn't get a chance to swing the bat? Do you think it benefits Major League Baseball as an international entertainment product that Shohei Ohtani was not allowed to swing the bat? How do you not understand what I'm saying? Again, I think I'm screaming into the abyss. People hear what they want to hear. Oh, it doesn't make him a non-player, Michael. Yeah, I know it doesn't make him a non-player. It makes him a base runner. But is that why you paid for the ticket to see Ohtani run the bases? Or did you pay the ticket to see Ohtani swing the bat? It's not that tough to understand. Please try to understand. 1-800-919-3776. We'll talk more about this later. Knicks with another loss to the Bucks, 121-111. Listen, I'm not going to freak out about the way they played, and Karl Anthony Towns didn't play well, but this is a work in progress. You are changing, in essence, what the offense is, which I don't get. The offense was not the issue last year. They finished 5th offensively in the NBA. 5th. The offense was not the issue. The defense was the issue. And now it seems like you're trying to pick up the pace and make them more of a three-point shooting team. That's not good when there are certain guys on the floor. They're not a prototypical three-point shooting team. Even Doc Rivers said, well, they want to shoot more threes. I don't want them to shoot more threes, especially when the 5 guys on the floor are Josh Hart or involve Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson. You're playing 3-on-5 then. And then it makes it easier to defend the 3. Because you could double on the guys that could shoot the 3. But is it going to get better? I think Cat's still trying to find his way in the offense. It's funny. You're trying to pick up the pace, and by picking up the pace, you're taking away the positives of what Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns do. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out. Now, if you change the coaches because you wanted Mike Brown to go deeper on the bench than Tom Thibodeau did. Okay. Not that I agreed with that, but I get it. But coming in and revamping the offense when the offense wasn't the problem. That wasn't the problem. If you think overusing the players was the problem, well, okay. We can have a discussion about that. Although they didn't seem hurt last year, and they did get to Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. So now you're redoing something that kind of was not the issue. We'll see how it works out. 1-800-919-3776. Let's start it off with Bob in Connecticut. Bob, talk to me.
Hey, how
Hello,
you
Bob.
doing?
How you doing?
Great. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to talk, I get it. Ohtani's one of the best players. He is the best player I've ever seen. But it never stopped from the first pitch about how great he is, how he's performing on such little rest. I get all of that. But you know what? Think about the catchers. They didn't have a lot of rest either. They caught those games before. The other thing is, while Vlad hit his home run, they still complimented Ohtani about how he does that to pitchers when they make a mistake as well. So if you know these guys, if you could tell them, take it easy a little bit, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Bob, I'm not gonna text Joe Davis and John Smoltz to tell them that, because the star of the show, whether people want to admit it or not, is Ohtani, and they're going to put a lot of their concentration on Ohtani. Now, if you think it's too much, remember, they're not just when you broadcast big games, you're not just broadcasting to your core fan group. You are broadcasting to casuals, and casuals know who Ohtani is. They want to hear more about Ohtani. So you're looking at it as slobbering all over Ohtani. It's hard not to slobber over him. You watch him, and we've never seen anything like this. Ever. And you can't say Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth didn't pitch and hit at the same time to this level. When he was a pitcher with the Red Sox, he was a pitcher. And when he was a hitter with the Yankees, he was a hitter. Very infrequently did the two meet. I think he started maybe 4 games with the Yankees. And he did some hitting, obviously, when he pitched for the Red Sox. And you can see that there was greatness there, but he didn't do it both at the same time. This is something we've never seen before. So, yeah, they're gonna slobber all over him. Let's go to Gio in Staten Island. Gio.
Mike, I agree with you 1,000%. You are correct. It's just the strategy of the game. It's the strategy of the game with Ohtani. They got to walk him.
I agree. And as long as that strategy exists, Gio, then John Snyder's doing the right thing. But what I'm saying is, for the good of Major League Baseball, maybe you change the rules. And people shouldn't be aghast. Rules do change. Rules do change. The Manfred Man is new. The pitch clock is new. 2 throws over the first base is new. Going back to 1973, the DH in the American League was new. Going back to 1968 when they lowered the mound, that's new. You do things to heighten the entertainment. The NBA didn't have a 3-point shot till the ABA had a 3-point shot. All of a sudden, the NBA has a 3-point shot. And it's a central part of what they do, almost to a fault. So rules do change. The Fakakta kickoff rule in the NFL, it's ridiculous, but it's a major change. Major change. Moving the goalpost back of the end zone, adding 10 yards to field goals, making extra points longer. They change rules for the good of the game. Because these are not on tablets handed down from the mount. This is an entertainment product. Taking the bat out of the hand of Ohtani on the biggest stage in the world is probably not the smartest play. For the sport, for John Snyder, it's a brilliant play. That game does not go 18 innings if they allow Ohtani to swing the bat. And if they had walked Ohtani during the first 9 innings, it probably they win that game, the Blue Jays. But after getting slapped around for 2 home runs and 2 doubles, he said, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. Let's go to Raul in Harrisburg. Raul.
Mike, how you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
All right, all right. Hey, you gotta shave, like the Yankees say for the postseason. I mean, for when you get to not center stage, on the broadcast.
Well, you know what? The Yankees have beards now. Why can't I have it?
Yeah. Let me get to my point, Mike. Listen, I got a problem with these players nowadays, and I don't know why it's happening with the Yankees a lot. What I want to explain is, and I'll explain it. Aroldis Chapman, I used to like him, but why can't he wait till his career ends and talk like that? I mean, what's wrong with these players? You know what I mean? It's like a constant thing. They yap about what happened in interviews, and I don't know if he's saying it because of Boston. You know what I mean? But I just want to hear your take a little bit on that, because it kind of bothered me because he was a Yankee. I used to like him, but a lot of the things he did, the tattoos, all those bad things he did, blowing games in the postseason. And now you want to just talk bad about the team that gonna give you a contract. Why do players do this? Mike Gleyber did the same thing. I think somebody else did that too.
Well, I mean,
Thanks, Mike.
but Raul, we want them to be honest, and we ask them questions, and I think that what he said, I say it takes a lot of onions to say that. I mean, you were not a success with the Yankees. The Mike Brosseau home run, the Altuve home run. You know how many seasons ended on the arm of Aroldis Chapman? You didn't participate in a workout before one of the playoff series. You just didn't show up. You lost your job to Clay Holmes. You got put on the IL because you got a tattoo during the season on your leg that became infected. These are not things that you hang on the rim about. So he for those that didn't see the story, he didn't like the way he was treated by the Yankees. But he said the players are great. He had a great relationship with Boone. So who didn't he like? Brian Cashman, the guy who traded for him after he got charged by shooting the gun to intimidate his either his wife or his girlfriend? That guy you don't like? The guy who gave you a 5-year deal after he traded you away to get Gleyber Torres? That guy? I don't think you had any interaction whatsoever with Hal Steinbrenner, so it couldn't be him. It's got to be Brian. What do you have that's bad about? I love when guys are honest. They go up to the it's like riding the subway tracks. You go up right to the edge. Well, okay, then go further. Tell us why you felt disrespected. What did they do to disrespect you? You got paid an awful lot of money with the Yankees, and you didn't get them anything. And they gave you an opportunity to go to the Cubs and win a World Series, which you really tried to blow by giving up the 3-run home run to Rajai Davis, which set up an unbelievable comeback after the rain delay. Now, I blame Joe Madden for that because he overused you, and you're probably exhausted, but you did give up a home run that almost killed the Cubs' dream of ending their streak. So it's just curious to me. Maybe it's, he's playing to the Red Sox fan base, and he probably had his greatest year ever with the Red Sox. Strangely, at that age, throwing harder than he's ever thrown. But then you come out and you take, these broadside swipes at the Yankees, which you have every opportunity to do, and you're allowed to do it. But then you kind of leave it in a nebulous way. Well, who did you wrong? Who mistreated you? It's not Boone. It's not the coaching staff. And you really like the players. Oh, okay, what's left? So what did Brian do to you that hurt your feelings? Did he call you into the office and yell at you about getting a tattoo in the middle of the season and then having it infected? Did he do that? I don't know if he did that. Do you not like being told when you do something stupid? Hey, tattoos are another story in themselves. And you can get as many as you want. It's a free country. But you decide to get a tattoo during a season? You lost your closer's job with the Yankees to Clay Holmes. You didn't show up at a workout before a playoff series, and now you complain about the Yankees? Okay, I'll play along. But I don't have a problem with him saying it. I have a problem with him stopping short of telling exactly what was wrong. Who disrespected you? And how? So instead, you're going to open the door a crack and then slam it shut. Well, I like the players. I like the manager. I like the coaches. They all great. But the organization mistreated me. Who? The clubhouse guy? Who? Who mistreated you? The guy who parks the cars? I'd really like to know. You don't go to the edge and then not tell us what it is. That's my issue with what he said. Not that he said anything. Players have the right to say whatever they want. They don't have to wait till they're done. He had something on his chest. He wanted to get it off, but he didn't get it all the way off. He said just enough to make it curious, but we still have no idea what he's talking about. Hey, right now, Bay Ridge Honda, fall into savings with unstoppable savings across their full lineup of Honda cars, trucks, SUVs, hybrids, and EVs during the Fall for Honda sales event. You can get the HR-V all-wheel drive LX for $299 a month with zero down during the Fall for Honda sales event. Plus, receive thousands in benefits and savings with their Bay Ridge Plus Advantage plan. Upfront pricing, total peace of mind. Visit BayRidgeHonda.com. 39 months lease, 10,000 miles per year, zero down, plus tax, tag, and fees. See dealer for full details.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Bet365. Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE, back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like, D'Agostino, law, bite back?
Looking for the best internet deal? It's just a fast phone call away. Only Optimum Fiber Internet delivers the fastest and most reliable fiber internet starting at just $40 a month. That's right, lightning fast fiber internet at a price that won't slow you down. Call 888-4OPTIMUM today to lock in your offer in just a few minutes and see how you can also get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle and an unlimited mobile line on us. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Terms apply.
Your fantasy roster is set, the smack talk is heating up, and this season ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sportsbook for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook, download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Rich Eisen here. As you all know, I care deeply about pediatric cancer research and awareness. That's why I'm proud to talk about Hyundai Hope on Wheels. For over 27 years, every Hyundai sold has helped fund life-saving pediatric cancer research. Together with over 850 dealers nationwide, they've raised more than $277 million, supporting over 25,000 kids in their fight against cancer. At Hyundai, hope isn't optional. It comes standard. Visit HyundaiUSA.com and search Hyundai Hope on Wheels to learn more.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Talked a little bit about the Knicks. We'll get into that more in the 2 o'clock hour. Mike Lupica at 2:30 as well. Hawks play the Nets tonight. Have you seen how bad the Nets are? I mean, I've warned you about this, haven't I? The Nets have allowed 522 points in the first 4 games. They've allowed teams to shoot 53.7% from the field, 46% from 3 points. They've allowed 130 or more points in 3 of the 4 games. They did that 7 times all last year. I'll say it again. I know the net people don't like hearing it, and I know they're part of the Yes family and all that. Disgraceful that you put together a team and you charge prices to get into Barclays Center, and you're not going to put a representative team on the field. How's that possible? That'll be 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. So you did it last year because you hope you got Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg's playing in Dallas now. You don't always get what you want because of the lottery. 2 years in a row, you've just thrown away out of your franchise's history. On a hope and a dream. You're betting on air. You're betting on a draft pick. You had 5 draft picks last year. Did you really select a difference maker? You got some decent players there. Is there a difference maker? 2 years in a row, they're non-competitive. And you know, they're going to trumpet the fact, well, we have a lot of cap space. Who's coming to Brooklyn to play on this team? Who? You have put together a team that is non-competitive. They're 0-4. If you had to choose an over-under on 16 wins, what would you choose? You probably bet under. And they got a really good coach, too. I never get it. All these grand processes and plans and stuff. How often does it work? It worked with the Astros. It worked to some extent with the Orioles, but they never won a championship out of it. Didn't work with the Sixers. Why not try to be competitive every year? Try that. Oh, but then we're in purgatory. We're not good enough to get a high draft pick, and we're not good enough. We're not bad enough to get a high draft pick, and we're not good enough to win a championship. Yeah, okay, but at least you're putting a product that's watchable on your court. If you don't care about this year, and that's your choice, then why don't you cut ticket prices? Why don't you let people in free? Why don't you cut the rights fee for the Yes Network? They're paying money to broadcast your games. Who's watching the Nets? I don't get it. I simply don't get how you cavalierly give away seasons. I don't understand. The Knicks didn't tank to get with it. Now, they were terrible, but they were trying to be good every single year. They didn't tank to. They made a really smart signing in Jalen Brunson, and then they made a series of really good moves. They didn't have to go rock bottom on purpose. Now, they were rock bottom because they didn't know what they were doing. They couldn't get out of their own way. But they didn't go rock bottom on purpose. On purpose. I'll never understand it. I know there were some people, I talked about this the other day, they popped up on the computer. We never got a chance to go to, they agree with what Sean Marks is doing. Please, you have the floor today. The only guest we have is Lupica, so you guys are the co-hosts today. Explain to me why it's a good thing. Explain to me. Let's go to Anthony in Tom's River. What's up, Tony?
Hi, Michael. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Great, thank you. Just want to say, great show. I've been a fan of yours for a long, long time. Long-time Yankee fan. Real quick, my dad, God rest his soul, he was in World War II, got to see Mickey Mantle play. He took me out of 7th grade to watch that Bucky Dent home run against the Red Sox because, if you remember, it was during the day that game.
I remember.
It wasn't the night game.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to touch, I know you're talking about a bunch of different things. Great World Series, by the way, but just to touch on the Yankees real quick, not to, beat a dead horse, but I know everybody obviously plays at a professional level in Major League Baseball. It seems to me, and I just want your opinion on this, that, again, every team plays great. They're all professionals. But it seems when the Yankees, whoever plays the Yankees, the opposing team goes beyond and above what they do at a regular, for example, like a Colorado Rocky team. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like they make catches that they never made before. They hit like they never hit before. They're aggressive. I just want your opinion on it. Do you think that's a coincidence, or do you agree with that?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think people get up for playing the Yankees. The Yankees have more eyeballs on them. They have famous players. They're historically one of the more famous sports franchises in all the world. So, yeah, you're going to get up for those games more. I mean, you should be up for every single game, but there's going to be a little extra motivation to beat the big bad Yankees. Yeah, absolutely. You're not imagining that, and the Yankees have to counter that. Yeah. Also, when you come into Yankee Stadium, you're playing in front of a crowd of over 40,000. You might not be playing in front of that many people if you're a bad team. So that ramps up the emotional level as well. Let's go to David on the east side. David.
Michael, on your point about intentional walks, the reason you can't ban the intentional walk is because you can still unintentionally walk a guy. So here's my proposal for solving the problem.
All right.
Any player should be allowed to refuse a walk. That would be so awesome, right? It would be the ultimate FU to the pitcher. You want to pitch around me? Nah, I'm staying right here. Give me another pitch. It's a ball? Okay, I'm still not going anywhere. Throw me a strike. And if the pitcher gets him out, how exciting is that? You refuse to take your base, and I got you out anyway.
I don't hate it, but games could go on forever.
Well, I think it would be situational. Maybe you give that option to one player per game. It's like a challenge or something. There are ways to limit it, but I think the point still stands. You cannot ban intentional walks because you'll just see unintentional walks instead.
I get that, but at least an unintentional walk, a guy can make a mistake. Holding up 4 fingers, they can't make a mistake. You know what I mean? So
how often?
They did walk him unintentionally in the final at bat in Game 3, but there were pitches that he could have expanded the strike zone and tried to hit in that at bat. He chose not to.
Yeah, but if you want to walk a guy 99 times out, once in a while you see Miguel Cabrera, he'll swing out and get a hit. It really doesn't happen all that often. Maybe another rule you could implement is if you want to intentionally walk a guy, you have to throw him at least one strike.
Not bad either. I like the way you're thinking. Outside the box.
Thank you. So one more point. I think I don't understand all these Yankees fans rooting for the Dodgers. I get that this is like Blue Jays, Dodgers, what's to like, but do they not understand the history? Right? The Dodgers are a much more hated team for the Yankees. Much more hated. There's no real history with the Blue Jays aside from this year.
Well, the reason that, if I was a fan, what I would do is I root for the Blue Jays if I'm a Yankee fan. Because there's a certain prestige in being the last team to repeat. Because it's really, really hard to do. And it's kind of neat whenever anybody wins a championship now. Well, the last team to repeat is the New York Yankees. They won 3 in a row, 98, 99, 2000. That goes away if the Dodgers win this year. If the Blue Jays win, nothing goes. Are they really your arch rivals? Are you really upset because they played New York while they celebrated in the visiting clubhouse at Yankee Stadium? Well, then be upset that the Dodgers celebrated on your field a world championship the year before. The Dodgers and the Yankees have a real rivalry dating back, at its height in the 50s. But a lot of Yankee fans, I cannot bring myself to root for an American League East team to win a championship. Why? You'd rather have the Dodgers win again? You'd rather have the Dodgers be the team in Major League Baseball. When you think championship, you think the Dodgers. No. You want the Yankees to still be that team. But Yankee fans, it seems like I get a lot of pushback when I say, no, I want the Blue Jays to win. I don't want the Dodgers to repeat. Let's go to Henry in South Carolina. Henry.
Michael, I have so much I could play off here. We're going in a million directions, but I'll start here to agree with you and say it would hurt me to have the stat go away of the repeating Yankees, right? Because we've been hearing that for 25 years. That would stink. And also, I tend to want to root for the team that beat my team. That's just me as a fan. I'd rather see my team lose to the eventual champions. It just makes more sense to me. Michael, I was such a big Nets fan until they moved to Brooklyn, and even then I tried to stick with it, but it kills me to see where they are now, and I can't possibly come back to being a Nets fan at this point. And this is what makes it so great to be a Yankee fan. I know that we've been stuck in purgatory for so long, but how could I allow my mental health, take in a sports franchise that isn't even trying? I can't do that. I simply cannot. So
that's what I don't get, Henry. They are literally not trying. We're trying to build something, but you're not trying to win in 2025, 26, and you're still charging top prices. I don't get it.
It's not good for my wallet. It's not good for my brain. How could you get behind it? Yeah. Do I want a championship in New York for the Yankees? Absolutely. But at the very least, I'm going to be entertained throughout the year. I got 162 games of competitive baseball. I can't ask for anything more. Think of the value.
I agree. I think there's something to be said. I know Yankee fans are legitimately upset, and I get it, that they haven't won a championship since 2009. Not fighting that, especially that's what the organization has always sold since George Steinbrenner bought the team in 73. I get it. So when they don't win a championship, you have the right to be angry. But every year you have a chance. They have never tanked a season. The closest they came to tanking a season was the 2 years that Stump Merrill was there, where there was no owner. George was suspended, so there was nobody spending the money. Nobody was signing off on spending millions of dollars. But once he got back, then all that changed. Every year they've tried to win. They have never broken it down. And I've said this over and over and over again, and people argue with me. Because when the Yankees have their usual struggles in July or whatever, they should break this all down and start from scratch. It doesn't play in New York. That doesn't play in New York. Maybe it plays in Houston. Maybe it played in Baltimore. Maybe it played in Philly. It won't play in New York, where the Yankees or the Mets would break it down to the studs and be awful for 3 or 4 years so they could get high draft picks and move on from there and build. Really? You're going to pay top dollar to go see a team that's awful? If there's a Net fan out there that's paying top dollar this year that has a season ticket to the Nets in Brooklyn, I want to hear from you. What do you think about wasting your money? So essentially what you're doing is you're paying money to see other teams come in and slap the Nets around the head. Oh, I want to see Wembanyama when he comes in. I want to see Luca the one time he comes in. You're spending top dollar on season tickets to see that. You're not seeing a representative product. If the Yankees broke it down to the studs, you think they'd average over 42,000 people a game? Do you think that they would get ratings on yes? No. People go away when you're not competitive. They go away when you're not even trying. The Nets aren't trying to win this year. Now, I would admit they're trying to build something, but they're taking this year and saying it doesn't matter. We're not going to make the playoffs. We're not even going to try to make the playoffs. We're not acquiring people to make the playoffs. We're acquiring people to get draft picks, and we're going to take on salary so we get more draft picks. Draft picks are air until you make them, and the person that you pick with the draft pick ends up being great. And how often does that happen? How often does it happen? Amazing. Amazing. Shop new fall offers at Bay Ridge Mazda. Lease the 2025 Mazda CX-30S for as low as $199 per month, or finance for 2.9% APR for 36 months, or the 2025 Mazda CX-5S for as low as $229 per month, or finance for 2.9% APR for 36 months. Plus, enjoy 1 year of complimentary Bay Ridge Plus benefits like ding and dent coverage, key replacement, windshield protection, and roadside assistance. Visit them in Brooklyn or online at BayRidgeMazda.com. Bay Ridge Mazda, where confidence comes standard. See dealer for details.
Are you ready for some big winners? Oklahoma travels to Tennessee, plus Vanderbilt takes on Arch Manning in Texas, and USC travels to Lincoln to face Nebraska. Who is on upset alert? Join one of the nation's top sports betting analysts, Joe Wiz, on the Fine Line Saturday at 8 a.m. In the NFL, it's the game of the year when KC travels to Buffalo. Plus, the Wiz talks basketball, hockey, soccer, and horse racing from Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup. Follow the Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with the Wiz Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, the NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in 1 day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement, plus a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Why do you go to Princeton Longevity Center?
We go to Princeton Longevity Center because my husband's cardiologist told him having this exam saved his life.
Because somehow 20 turned into 40, and now I need to take my health more seriously. The Princeton Longevity Center designed a program to keep me healthy and active, so 50 and 60 will be no sweat.
Because even though my cholesterol is high, it turned out my arteries are clear. That's a big relief.
Whether you want to make the most of your future years or just want peace of mind, you need the Princeton Longevity Center. Their comprehensive preventive exam combines the latest technology with caring experts to create your personal plan for staying well.
Because I shouldn't have to wait an hour for a 10-minute physical. I go to Princeton Longevity Center because I get everything done in 1 day and take my results home with me.
Find out why you need Princeton Longevity. Call 888-8000-PLC or go to PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. Call 888-8000-PLC. That's 888-8000-PLC.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. 1 day, 1 meal, and 1 New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The post-crib assembly press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Michael, you had some trouble putting the crib together today. What went wrong?
You know, those instructions can be tough, and, well, you saw the outcome.
Here, just get one. Were you upset when your wife pulled you and called in the backup?
No, I mean, the baby needs a crib to sleep in, so whatever it takes.
You've got a changing table to put together next. It's got a lot of drawers. What's your comment?
You know what? We're done here.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Fight fans, Bud Light and ESPN New York are sending you to UFC at Madison Square Garden. Tap the Bud Light tile on the ESPN New York app and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets in the ESPN Suite. Catching the action alongside ESPN New York's Peter Rosenberg. Listen and enter through the Bud Light tile to score your shot at the ultimate fight night. Bud Light is the official beer of the UFC, so make your move now on the ESPN New York app.
Must be 21 plus. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Rules on the ESPN New York app. Please enjoy Bud Light responsibly.
Welcome back to the show. Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 7:30 p.m., Nets host the Hawks at Barclays Center. That game will be on Yes. 8 p.m., Game 5 of the World Series in L.A. between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. It'll be right here on ESPN New York. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glass up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this on social media, so it'd be silly of me to not address it at this point. John Flaherty tweeted this out a little bit ago. So I was informed yesterday that I will not be offered a contract from Yes for next season. I am very grateful for my 20 years at the network. I want to thank the Yankees and especially the Yankee fans. Thank you for letting me be a little part of your day for 20 seasons. I'm going to miss John tremendously. I think he was an important part of what we do at the network. You can make the argument that he's probably the most valuable person in terms of what he can do. He can be great in the studio. He can do unbelievable analysis on the games. He could do play-by-play. There's no other guy that can do all of those things. Why it happened? Those decisions are made above my pay grade. But John's contract was up, and they decided not to offer him another one. Same thing with Jeff Nelson, and the same thing also with Dave Valley. Hate to see people in this climate lose their job. You can't say they were fired. Their contracts were not renewed, but John's been part of the furniture there. He's been there for 20 years. He's been a very valuable member. Again, these decisions are made above me. I certainly made my opinions known. I think he's a terrific broadcaster. But again, I don't sign people. I don't decide who stays or who goes. And in this climate, in this world, the way our business is going, especially on the regional sports network level, I'm just thrilled that I have a job, and I intend to hold on to it. But John Flaherty, already people are shocked and fans are upset, and I get it. He's a really good broadcaster. Had one of the iconic hits in Yankee regular season history in the Jeter diving into the stands game. He was a great guy in the clubhouse. He was the guy who was entrusted to catch Randy Johnson when nobody else would catch Randy Johnson. He was a really solid catcher, had a really good big league career, and I hope that there are great things in store for him for his next step in the industry. He's not going to retire. He's going to, I'm sure he'll land somewhere, but I will miss him personally at the Yes Network. So if you have not seen that, you will see it. And the other people, Dave Valley and Jeff Nelson, that was reported in The Athletic. So it's certainly no secret, and I'm not, opening up a door that shouldn't be opened here of privacy because it's out there. And the fact that John tweeted it out, I certainly don't want to ignore it because he's an important person to me, both professionally and personally. I consider him a very, very good friend and will remain friends forever, I would hope. But we will not be working together at the Yes Network moving forward. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Joe in Connecticut. Joe.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Joe?
Good. Shame about John. He's a true professional.
Yeah, he's very good.
Not just as a ball player, but as a broadcaster. But he'll land. A quick item for you, and I want to ask you about Ohtani and Judge, but just one follow-up to an earlier caller about the Yankees and who do you root for as a Yankee fan. I think the other thing besides the consecutive championships is you kind of want to lose. If you're going to lose, you want to lose to the eventual champion. And, the Blue Jays, they're the champion. The Yankees can always say they lost to the the World Series champ.
Absolutely.
But Ohtani versus Judge, and again, I'm a big Judge fan, big Yankee fan, but objectively, take away the pitching. Obviously, Judge can't match him on that, and Ohtani's a DH when he doesn't pitch, and Judge is an excellent outfielder. But just all-around ball player, if you take away the pitching issue, objectively, I think if I had to choose an asset, I would take Ohtani over Judge. And maybe it's the postseason performance historically, but as an all-around asset to the team.
Yeah, but
do you have a view on that?
One thing, I mean, you have the right to your opinion. Prior to hitting the 3 home runs, Ohtani was not his full Ohtani last year because of the shoulder injury that he had during the postseason. Yep. He was awful against the Phillies. So, I mean, Judge had a postseason this year that Ohtani's never had. Now, has he had a 3 home run game? No. So, if you include the pitching, then obviously the choice is clear. This is a guy who's a top-flight pitcher and a top-flight hitter. But if you take the pitching away, I don't think you could choose Ohtani. The only thing that he has over Judge offensively is the speed. He stole over 50 bases one year. This year it was over 20 because he was pitching as well. Judge hits for more average, has a higher OPS plus. I think he walks more. And the home runs, Judge has a 62 home run year. They're about equal in terms of home runs. But if you take away the pitching, I don't know if Ohtani is a bigger asset than Judge. I mean, Judge is a beast. He's an absolute amazing hitter. It's the tiebreaker is the pitching, but I don't think you would take Ohtani just because of the speed. Because Judge also plays the outfield. Ohtani's just a hitter. Judge is a really good right fielder when he's healthy. So again, you take away the pitching, I'm taking Judge. You add the pitching in, well, that changes the narrative by a lot. Hey, YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. So take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN. We're talking about the price of tickets for a team that loses. That's what we're talking about. I'll talk more about that when we get back, and we'll delve more into what the Knicks are doing, and Mike Lupica at 2:30. Hey, it's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/K to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Right now at Bay Ridge Honda, fall into savings with unstoppable savings across their full lineup of Honda cars, trucks, SUVs, hybrids, and EVs during the Fall for Honda sales event. You can get the HR-V all-wheel drive LX for $299 a month with zero down during the Fall for Honda sales event. Plus, receive thousands in benefits and savings with their Bay Ridge Plus Advantage plan. Upfront pricing, total peace of mind. Visit BayRidgeHonda.com. 39 months lease, 10,000 miles per year, zero down plus tax, tag, and fees. See dealer for full details.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Listen, the weather is starting to cool off a little bit and the cold is coming fast. Fill up your oil before the cold sets in. Now's the best time because the prices are still so low. By the time we get to Halloween and early November, you know it's going to be freezing. So make it easy to keep your house comfortable and warm. That's what Romeo's Fuel does. They keep you warm with discount home heating oil. Order online at romeosfuel.com. Now fully serving Nassau and Suffolk, go to romeosfuel.com today. That's romeosfuel.com.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Well, have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has all the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats right at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy teams synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. So, we're talking about the Nets, and, they're not putting a representative product on the court. They have no chance to make the playoffs. If they win 20 games, Jordi Fernandez should be Coach of the Year. And, they're charging full ticket prices to go to Barclays Center to watch that product. I don't get it. And Net fans are more than welcome, if you're out there, and if you would admit you're a Net fan, to call in and be part of the program, 1-800-919-3776. How do you feel about paying for tickets? Now, Barclays Center gets a sellout, it seems like, every night. But I will tell you, the ratings for the Nets on Yes are not very good. They're not very good. I'll let you know a little dirty secret. When we used to have the simulcast of the afternoon show, our ratings were better than the Nets. Better than a live professional sports franchise. A talk show where they put a camera in a studio. So if you think that what the Nets are doing, throwing away 2 years of their existence, I'd like to hear why you think that. But this to me is amazing. I mean, this to me is the very definition of hubris. So the Jets are raising their ticket prices for next year. This is a team that after this season will have not made the playoffs for 15 straight years. Now, I do give them credit. They're not trying to tank. They're trying to win. But their ineptitude is so extreme from top to bottom that they can't make the playoffs in a sport that has a lot of wild cards. They can't make the playoffs for 15 years. Think about that. And then they send out the invoices for tickets for next year, and they're going to have a ticket increase. It's mind-boggling to me that you would do that to your fan base and have the hubris to do it. To think, yeah, this is a smart move. And this is why it's such a stupid move. Do you know the money that an NFL team makes? What they bring in with ticket prices is minuscule. Minuscule. To the bottom line, the whole engine runs on the copious amounts of cash they get from national TV. From national TV. Billions of dollars. So here's how it breaks down. It's a 3.5% ticket increase. Now, is that the end of the world? No, it's not. But it's the optics. The trash product that you continue to put out on the field, you think deserves to have a raise in ticket prices. 56% of the building went up between $5 and $10 per seat. Now, there's a story in the Post where a Jet spokesman said, well, I mean, the upper deck seats, those are really going to be untouched. It's going to be the more expensive seats. And then they also try to tell you, well, next year there's going to be 9 games because we don't have the European game, not 8 games at home. Whatever the case may be, you're raising the ticket prices by 3 to 5%, and I'd like to know why. And the Jets are more than welcome, anybody from the Jets, to call in and try to defend raising ticket prices for a team that doesn't make the playoffs. And for years and years and years, for different reasons, and whether you think they're valid or not, James Dolan has been public enemy number 1. But you know one thing that James Dolan has the good sense to do? He never raises ticket prices if his team doesn't make the playoffs. Ever. How could you be so tone deaf for something so small? A 3 to 5% increase. It would have killed you to not have an increase next year after the team performed. They're 1-7. And you think it's okay. You don't care about the optics of not actually putting a representative team on the field, and then you have the gall. Almost got dumped there. You have the gall to raise ticket prices. It is beyond me that you could defend this. Woody Johnson doesn't need the money. Not on a SNAP program. He's a billionaire. What would it kill him to not raise prices next year? Just for the look of it. And then maybe if the Aaron Glenn experiment pans out and they change the culture and the Jets do make the playoffs next year, raise the ticket prices then. You don't have the good sense to leave it alone now? You don't have the good sense? I don't get it. I don't get such small-minded thinking, such myopic thinking. Because the 3 to 5% that you're going to squeeze out of working-class people, it doesn't make a difference to your bottom line. And you still think that that's the right thing to do. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. In this day and age, where people struggle for money and that their one extravagance is maybe going to a Jet game, you got to squeeze a couple of extra bucks out of them coming off a year where you might win 4 games, 3 games. Woody, the stuff you said about Justin Fields and now on top of that this, what an awful look. What an absolutely awful look. You can't get out of your own way, can you? That's where you step in, or Christopher steps in, when somebody comes up with that genius idea. We're going to raise ticket price. No, let's not. You talk about how great Jet fans were when you spoke at the owners' meeting. The Jet fans, they're the heart and soul. You know, they're with us all of the way. Oh, let me squeeze more bucks out of them. Let me get $10 out of everybody more. Amazing. Amazing. There's a video out there on social media. I hope that you could find it. The Knicks lost to the Bucks yesterday, but there's a video of Antetokounmpo, who had a good game yesterday. 37 points. 37 points. 16 to 22 from the field. He stops dribbling, gathers the ball, I'd say at the top of the key, as he's driving toward the lane. Or into the lane toward the basket. I'm not exaggerating. He takes at least 5 full steps without dribbling the basketball. And it's not called. It's not called. Traveling's not called. It's an embarrassment. And they can tell me, well, the gathering counts. He's taking 5 full steps from the top of the key. It's like when you watch 5 or 6 year olds play basketball and they forget the dribbling part and they just barrel in. That's exactly what it is. They're barreling in. How do you stop Antetokounmpo if he doesn't have to dribble? If he could just lower his shoulder and take 5 unencumbered steps to the basket? How do you plan to stop him? That video is going to be a total embarrassment for the NBA. The traveling doesn't exist anymore. The whole gathering aspect and the Euro step and all that, they're taking way more than 2 steps. Traveling doesn't exist. That is really an illuminating video if you get a chance to see it. Also, I love Antetokounmpo. ESPN reported a while back, Shams reported that, when they were talking about trading him, he said he only wanted to go to the Knicks. And Stefan Bondi of the Post asked me, I don't recall saying that. You don't recall saying that? He didn't deny saying it. And then he said, well, I didn't read that story. A story about you demanding a trade or possibly demanding, you didn't read it or nobody told you about it. But everybody in every walk of life that plays in professional sports, they know every slight by anybody in their basement with Cheeto dust on their fingers, the stuff that they say. But Antetokounmpo didn't read that story. Again, I wonder why we even talk to athletes. They don't respect us. They think we're morons. To give an answer like that, the answer is, I'm playing for the Bucks right now. That's not something I want to get into. And he wasn't rude. That's not his way. He's not rude. But to say I don't recall saying that and I never read that story. Okay, a story about you possibly being traded from the Bucks and you didn't decide to read it. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to the phone. Let's go to Elvis in Connecticut. Elvis.
Hello,
Elvis.
Hey, Mr. Michael K. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Again, born and raised in the Bronx, but now I live in Connecticut. Big fan of you, Michael K. I always, 99%, I agree with you for real.
Thank you.
Saying.
Thank you.
First, one of the things that I want to tell you, you write about Ohtani and Judge. I'll take Judge, not just because I'm a Yankee fan, but I'll take Judge over Ohtani. Because if you take the pitching away, I think Judge is a better hitter.
I agree.
Number two, it's embarrassing what the Nets are doing. You're right. They charge for these tickets. Again, I'm born and raised in New York. I would love to go to Brooklyn just for the Barclays bid. What they charging you and for the product they're putting out there, no. I'd rather see on TV. And not even that because I'm a Laker fan. But again, I'm born and raised in New York. I would rather go to my hometown and see, even if it's not my team, but, see that. But I don't go because, again, the prices are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And one little thing, Michael, to see what you think, with all these outfielders that we supposedly have in the minor system, the Yankees, but want to make the best move to bring Cody back, at least Cody or even Trent, because Cody plays every position.
Well, I think Elvis, I believe that they're gonna try to bring back Cody Bellinger. It's going to come down to if there's a team that offers more. I am not of the opinion. Guy I respect, Joel Sherman is. I would not offer him the qualifying offer. I'm not paying $22 million for Trent Grisham. He's not the same outfielder. He had an unbelievable year, 34 home runs. He was tremendous, big hits. But the 3 previous seasons, he couldn't hit 200. And you can say, well, there's no such thing as a bad one-year deal. $22 million you're going to pay for Trent Grisham. $22 million. Because there's no way he's going to turn down the qualifying offer. No way. If he went on the open market without a qualifying offer, I'm telling you, even though there is a paucity of center fielders out there, he's not a great center fielder anymore. The metrics tell you he's not. He would get what, $10, $11 million a year? Maybe for a 2 or 3 year deal? There's no way I would risk it for the Yankees to offer him $22 million. Because even if he doesn't take it, is it worth the risk just to get a draft pick? That's not even going to be a high draft pick? No way. I'm gonna make an effort to get either Bellinger or Tucker. Because if you offer him the qualifying offer for $22 million, and then you sign Bellinger, you know what happens? Domingue is a non-person. He's not on the team. He's gonna be in the minor leagues next year. Are you in on Dominguez or not? If you bring everybody back, Dominguez is gone. He's in AAA or he's going to be traded. Bottom line, that's exactly what it is. Let's go to Jimmy in Montclair. Jimmy.
Hey, how are you, Michael?
Good, Jim. What's up, man?
Hey, not much. Hey, so I used to have season tickets when they were at Continental Airlines, IZOD, and then when they moved to Newark at Prudential Center with the Nets. But then after they moved to Brooklyn, it's a pain to get out there. Now I do have a partial plan with them, but you said it correctly. The only reason I have a partial plan is because when the Lakers are in town, easily each ticket I have, I could sell for $400, so I'm making my money back. But right now, yeah, I love the Nets, but I'm not driving out there more than an hour in traffic, paying $40 for parking to watch your miserable team.
Yeah, listen, I think you've got it figured out where, you get rid of the tickets when the Lakers come to town and you make back some of your money. But the Barclays Center is a beautiful, beautiful arena. And it's kind of easy to park there. There's a lot right across the street. It's not the easiest place to get to, but, I mean, you put a representative team on the field. And, again, they do get good numbers attendance-wise. I just want to talk to people that are going. Why are you going this year? Well, what's the attraction? What's the player on the team that you just have to see? Again, you must be going for the other teams in the NBA. That has to be the reason. And are there enough attractions? I mean, are you going for the Charlotte Hornets when they come in? Are you? I don't know. Let's go to Robert in New Jersey. Robert.
Hey, Mike, thanks for taking the call. Mike, first of all, I'd like to say congratulations on the new show. Every time I try to call, I just couldn't get through. But congratulations.
Thank you, Robert.
Michael, I want to talk about this raising of the tickets with the Jets. I'm a third generation season ticket holder. I go back with my grandfather from the Polo Grounds. I think it's absolute nerve what this guy is doing, okay, to raise us to see this product and then to listen to this guy throw the quarterback under the bus. Michael, I've had it. The last game I went to was a Dallas game. My son, 20 years old, he attends Rutgers. We left at halftime. That was the second game in my life that I've ever left at halftime. The first one was the Buffalo game.
Right.
To look at me, he's like, Dad, we should seriously reconsider this. Because you know what, Michael? I'm that type of dad that I go out. If my grill breaks, I go buy a new grill. My chair breaks, I buy a new chair. My tent goes, I need it. And I'm that guy. But you know what? This is absolutely ridiculous. And you know what's even more funny, Michael? Last week I'm cutting my lawn. My ticket rep called me twice. Not once, but twice. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? There's a reason. There's a reason this dude is calling me. And you know what that reason is, Michael? Not to let me know about the tickets and all that stuff, but to let me know that the email went out to renew your tickets before December 1st. You know what? I hope somebody's listening from the organization right now. You guys are a joke. I love the team, but what you guys are doing to us is a joke. And Woody, let me tell you something. You should be embarrassed when you look in the mirror. But you know what, Michael? You made a great point last week or the other day talking about when you got too much money. Because I work for somebody who has a hell of a lot of money, but they'll never admit when they're wrong. Ever. They can be dead wrong to your face, but they will never admit it because you know why, Michael? And you said it the best. When you got too much money, you can never be wrong. Michael, I'll take it off the air, and thank you again, buddy. Good luck.
Oh, man, thank you. Good stuff. I mean, the only way that a fan base could protest ticket prices is not to go and not to buy the tickets. Not to buy the tickets. That's the only way you could protest it. But fans are afraid that they'll give up their tickets and then the team will get good. I mean, what are the odds that it's going to go 20 years without making the playoffs? And then they won't be able to get in. But that fear no longer exists, everybody. That fear no longer exists. With the secondary ticket markets and apps, you can get into any game you want. And you could pick and choose what games you want to go to. The best message that Jet fans could send to the Jets about this ticket increase is take your tickets and shove them. I'm not giving you any more money for this product. I'm not doing it. And what I don't understand is that at some point it has to be run by Woody. They have to run this ticket increase by Woody, and that he doesn't have the good sense to say, nah, that's probably not a good idea. The way we're playing, it's not a good idea, and it's not enough money that it's going to move the needle. It's just not. How could you do it? Talk about hubris, cubes, whatever part of the body you want to say, that you have the tone deafness to say, yeah, I think fans should pay more money for this. I think they should pay more money for this product. That's what I think. Wow. Mike in Rockaway. Mike.
Hey, Mike. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. I wanted to circle back on the Nets real quick. I'm a Mets fan who has YouTube TV, and YouTube TV doesn't even come with the Yes Network. I wouldn't even spend my money to watch this team play on TV. How about that? Instead of going to a game,
I understand.
Yeah, it's just I can't even put it into words.
And you're a Nets fan.
How disappointing. Yeah, I'm a Nets fan. Unfortunately, I'm one of the few. I live in Brooklyn. I would rather give my money to St. Jude's than go pay money to go see the Brooklyn Nets play basketball. That's just the sad reality of it.
It's no amazing. It's funny. I actually, you'll probably disagree with me, Mike. I think Sean Marks is super, super smart. And he knows how to clear space. And, he did make that bold move and got the big three to come here. All of that. He made the trades, which didn't work out, for Garnett and Pierce. I mean, he made it exciting for a while. And it wasn't his fault that it fell apart, although it was his fault that he capitulated to the demands to get rid of Kenny Atkinson, a really good coach, to bring in Steve Nash, a joke. But in terms of like acumen and in draft picks, you see the players he gets in the second round. He's a smart basketball guy. But he had to sit down with the Tsai family, and they had to make a decision. Let's not be competitive for 2 years. Let's clear space. We'll get free agents to come here. What free agents are coming here? The only reason they came with the big three was because Kyrie wanted to play for them. He grew up a Net fan, and Kevin Durant mindlessly followed him. That's the only reason. Are you going to get that again? What great NBA player grew up a Nets fan? So you can have all the salary cap room you want. When Antetokounmpo, when that story came out about him possibly wanting to be traded, he didn't say he wanted to go to the Nets. He wanted to go to the Knicks. So now, if Sean Marks was on the air with me, he goes, well, we know we're not going to get great players in the free. That's why we're collecting draft picks. But that's shot in the dark. The Mavericks had, a 1.5% chance to get the number one pick, and they got him. They got Cooper Flagg. You got 5 guys that most of the country has no idea who they were before you selected them with your 5 first-round draft picks. Hopefully they turn into something special. But what are the odds of that? What are the odds? And it's not just the Nets I'm piling onto. And that's why I think there's value. There's value in your team every year trying to make the playoffs and trying to win a championship. Because the Mets, we're not talking Nets, we're talking Mets, Metropolitans. The Mets, although it was a colossal disappointment this year, Steve Cohen went for it. He didn't say, I'm going to tear it down. I'm going to have a couple of years and not even be competitive. They didn't make the playoffs, but they tried. So they gave their fans hope, and their fans responded by packing Citi Field. The Yankees, it's a given. Every year, they give their fans hope that there's a chance of a championship. There's not even a chance of making a wild card spot, a playoff spot in the NBA for the Nets. Not even a chance. Last year, there wasn't a chance. This year, there's less of a chance. And how much is it going to change next year? How much? To me, that's indefensible to decide, you know what? We're not even going to try this year. But we are not, under any circumstance, going to cut ticket prices, which leads into what the Jets are doing. The Jets, the thing to do, since 3 to 5% is not a huge ticket increase, 3 to 5% decrease wouldn't be a killer either. And it would show your fans, you know what? Let's do this. We're in this together. We appreciate the support and the love you've given the team. Now we're going to give you a little bit of a break. Instead, they kick him right in the cubes. Mike Lupica is next. Shop new fall offers at Bay Ridge Mazda. Lease the 2025 Mazda CX-30S for as low as $199 per month, or finance for 2.9% APR for 36 months, or the 2025 Mazda CX-5S for as low as $229 per month, or finance for 2.9% APR for 36 months. Plus, enjoy 1 year of complimentary Bay Ridge Plus benefits like ding and dent coverage, key replacement, windshield protection, and roadside assistance. Visit them in Brooklyn or online at BayRidgeMazda.com. Bay Ridge Mazda, where confidence comes standard. See dealer for details.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
There he goes to the 20, 10, 5. That's a Jet touchdown. That's a Jet touchdown.
Jets fans, be there at MetLife Stadium to see the New York Jets take on the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, November 9th at 1 p.m., presented by Verizon. Don't miss your chance to experience the excitement of game day at MetLife Stadium and cheer on your Jets. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets and get ready to clear the runway.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. Now, they converted my kids' bathtub to a shower and did an incredible, really an unbelievable job. They offer all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit done in just 1 day. Durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and lower cost than a standard replacement. And a lifetime guarantee. Right now, no money down, no payments, no interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today like we did at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino & Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Listen up, football. At Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Lowe's knows that free makes everything better. That's why our rewards members get free standard shipping on the things they want and need to get the job done every day. Savings for rewards members add up fast. So why wait? Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
One thing I want to correct, we've been talking about, the Nets situation. Billy King is the guy who brought in Garnett and Pierce, and he was forced by ownership to do that. So everybody criticized Billy King for that move. It wasn't Billy King. It was Sean Marks who maneuvered to get Kyrie and Durant, and then eventually Harden into Brooklyn. It's Wednesday. It's 2:30, and we get a chance to talk to the award-winning columnist of the New York Daily News, MLB.com, and best-selling author Mike Lupica. He joins us now on the show. Hello, Mike. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Michael. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm a little puzzled, and we'll start off in an odd way.
Oh, God. That's why I'm here, Mike.
That's why I need you. That's why I need you.
Yeah, sure.
In some room in Florham Park, Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets, signed off on giving a ticket price increase after 15 years of not making the playoffs. Mike, make it make sense to me. How could people be so tone deaf?
Mike, we've talked about this on multiple occasions. If you have a bad owner in sports, you're screwed. Now, it doesn't mean that they can't, like a slight impaired squirrel, see how politically correct I am, find an acorn once in a while, okay? And Woody stayed out of the way for the first 10 years of his ownership. He did. You didn't even know he was in town, okay? And he finally got Mike Tannenbaum, and he's got Rex, and lo and behold, they make 2 AFC championship games with Mark Sanchez as their quarterback. 2 years after that, they go 6-10, and he bangs Tannenbaum, who I think is a really smart football guy, and he keeps Rex. So what could go wrong with this? And brings in John Idzik to be his general manager. And since that time, the Jets have lost 2 out of every 3 football games they played. And he is so out of touch with his own fan base. And I'm telling you, Mike, we talk about Giants fans and Yankee fans and this and that, okay? How can you not feel for Jets fans? The ones who still go, okay? The other grandfather in our family is a Jets season ticket holder, my friend Gerard, and he goes every single Sunday. And he watches games like we saw with the Panthers a couple of weeks ago, okay? But when I sound like a broken record on this, but we keep hearing about how Aaron Glenn has changed the culture. You cannot change the culture as long as Woody Johnson is your owner. And I don't know anybody who follows sports in New York, or maybe just follows sports generally, who wasn't happy for Justin Fields. I was happy for the coach on Sunday, but how can you not root for Justin Fields going forward after listening to that young man speak after the game on Sunday with such humility and humanity? He's worth 100 of his owner.
It's just so odd to me that somebody, maybe billionaires don't have to have common sense. Maybe they don't have a conscience, but you've given a fan base 15 years of ineptitude. Now, I'm not saying they're not trying. They're not like the Nets. Nets aren't trying to win. The Jets try to win. It's just they can't get out of their own way. And then they give a ticket increase. Tone deaf. It's tone deaf, Mike, that this guy doesn't have the common sense to say, this is not the year to do that. Let's keep it even. Even James Dolan refuses to raise ticket prices after a year where his team doesn't make the playoffs. Woody can't figure that out, Mike. He can't figure that out.
And Mike, the hold that a guy like Woody has on those fans, because we go through it in every sport with every downtrodden team. They're afraid that if they don't pay, and if this is the year that they give up their tickets, that even with Woody Johnson as the owner, maybe next year is the year they get good again. That's the hook, Mike. That's the hook that has Jets fans flopping on the deck like a fish, okay? Because that's what all fans fear. Oh, I paid my PSL. I've paid this much money over the years. And if I'm going to give them up. And then the next year they're 10-7 or whatever they are. And maybe even with Woody as the owner, they turn the corner. And that's where Jets fans are. And it's a shame. And you know what, Mike? We've got other thanks dad owners in town. Okay, I wish I could claim credit for that. It's a Dan Shaughnessy nickname. I forget what Celtics owner. Okay, we got a lot of second generation people running sports teams in this town. Okay, it's funny because Joe Tsai actually made his money on his own, right. and just because they inherited teams and inherited money, I've told you this before, doesn't mean they know any more about sports than whoever is sitting at the top of the arena and the top of the stadium and whatever cheap seats you can still find in sports.
This guy, Gerard, you say is your friend. Is he a happy person? Every Jet game he goes to?
He's a great guy. He's a great...
Really?
He's a great guy. He listens to your show. He'll be so thrilled that he got his shout out. He's a wonderful guy. He's a great dad and grandfather. And he loves two teams. So he's had a rough few months. He's got Mets season tickets, and he's got Jets season tickets. Wow. So this is not, other than our wonderful two grandsons, this has not been a happy time for him.
Call in if you want to get on the couch, Gerard. You're more than welcome. Mike, are you enjoying this World Series?
Oh, my God, Michael, I'm glad you asked. Okay, I'm probably going to write about it tomorrow, whoever wins tonight's game. Mike, this is the way the World Series is supposed to feel. This is what it used to be like in this country, in another time when the World Series was the main event. And I'm not saying there haven't been times over the years when it hasn't felt that way. It felt that way with Torrey's Yankees. You know, it felt that way when the Red Sox finally won in 2004. It's felt like that. But, Michael, this has been a sensational World Series, with people to watch and people to care about, not just Ohtani. And Mike, I stayed till the bitter end the other night.
Me too.
I was up at, 10 minutes to 3?
Yep.
And fortunately, Zach Lupica lives in Southern California, so I had somebody to be talking to. Because I went into another room, and Taylor said in the morning, "What were you doing? Who were you talking to?" I said, "I was talking to Zach. The game went 18 innings." And Mike, it's the greatest game of baseball the World Series has ever seen. And here's my biggest takeaway from that game and what we're watching. Michael, and you know this because you love baseball as much as I do. No sport still frames moments like we got in that game, and we felt like we had a dozen of them, and that probably is on the low side, better than baseball does. And tell me that you didn't have the same emotions that I was having when Clayton Kershaw came in to pitch. Okay, it was excruciating. I was terrified that he was going to give it up. I was terrified that this extraordinary career was going to end this way. And then he throws one more breaking ball out of the strike zone, and he gets out of it. And Michael, I wanted to stand up and cheer, and because you know who else was standing up and cheering? Sandy Koufax. I mean, how cool was it that Koufax, the left-hander for the Dodgers, was there to watch this moment? And who knows, maybe he'll pitch again in this series. I don't know if he will or not. Everything that I love about sports, the dread that you feel and then the exhilaration that you feel, was wrapped up in, what was it, Mike? 3 minutes in real time? 4 minutes in real time? I don't know how long that at-bat took, but that was really cool.
I'm curious about this because you've met everybody. You've done books with the most famous people. And you know, my job has afforded me the opportunity to meet famous people as well. But I've never met Sandy Koufax. But to me, I think I'd be afraid to. I almost look at him as a godlike figure. Do you have that same feel about him? And have you ever met him?
I have met him, Michael. I'll tell you no, it's a great story. It's a sweet story. Okay. Sandy Koufax was friends with Dick Chapman.
Okay.
Because Dick Chapman was friends with pretty much everybody. Okay. And so one year at the Final Four. I used to take my boys to my three sons. We went to like 15 Final Fours together. It was like our yearly thing. It's like a million memories that I wouldn't trade for anything. And one day we're picking up our tickets at the CBS office in Atlanta, and there is Koufax. And
you'd never met him before.
I never met him in person before. Okay. And, and I knew that he had gone to high school with Fred Wilp, all that stuff. Okay. Mm-hmm. And, the great Bill Goldman, Princess Bride and Butch Cassidy always had a rule: never introduce yourself to a famous person because you're only opening yourself up to heartbreak. Okay. But I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I'm ever going to get a chance to shake Sandy Koufax's right hand, not his left hand, but I'm going to do it now. So I take him over, and he knew of the sports reporters, and he knew that Dick and I were, colleagues and friends. And then I introduce him to my three boys. And I forget, so now we leave, we go down, we're out on the sidewalk, and Alex Lupica, I don't know how old he was at the time, say 12 years old, okay? And I said to the boys, do you know who that was? And Alex Lupica looked up at me and said, the greatest baseball pitcher who ever lived.
Wow.
How cool is that, Michael?
That's great. And he was great with the kids?
He was great with the kids. And I've been telling people for 2 days, Mike, if we're all lucky enough to live to be 89, I want to look like him when I get there.
Yeah, he looks so
He
elegant.
looks like a movie. He still looks like a movie star.
He really does. He really does. I know we only have a couple of minutes. Do you ever tire of being in awe of Ohtani?
No. It's. I'm sure I've told you the story before. I was sitting with Brian Leach one day when Gretzky was a New York Ranger, and I said to him, "Oh my God, how lucky that you got to play with him before you retired." He said, "No." He said, "I'm just lucky I lived at the time that he's been playing hockey. Okay, we're just lucky that we're watching nights like we saw the other night." And by the way, I saw the clip today of you talking about baseball being the only sport where you can essentially totally freeze the best player in the sport. And I couldn't agree more. I don't know how you legislate it. My writing partner, Mr. Patterson, came up with a good idea yesterday. Tell me what you think of this one. If you walk somebody with the bases empty, they get second base and not just first.
That's one of the things I've heard. Or maybe just like you can only walk somebody intentionally once in a game. You got to pick your poison.
You know what? If you think about this, Mike, you can only throw over to first base a certain number of times, but you can walk somebody as many times as you want. Explain the common sense in that to me.
Yeah, you rob the world of watching him swing the bat, and that's not good for baseball. It is entertainment. It's supposed to be entertainment. I don't blame John Schneider. He did the right thing. Should have walked him 9 times.
He did it all year to Aaron Judge.
That's right, and that won them that 4-game series, which won them the division.
Yep. No, Mike, it's as a sports fan, okay, and we come to sports for the great moment. I've always said this to you, okay. Every game I've ever watched or attended, I'm thinking the same thing. I want to see something I never saw before tonight. I know you feel exactly the same way. Mm-hmm. And this guy's been doing it on a nightly basis, and I don't want to see him just taking off his shin guard and running down to first base. No, I want to see him swing the damn bat.
Good stuff, Mike. I'll talk to you next week.
Enjoy the game tonight, Michael.
You too. Game 5 tonight. If you don't see it on Fox, you could watch it on ESPN New York. Hey, ESPN New York giving you the chance to experience UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden. That's on November 15th. One grand prize winner and a guest will score tickets to the ESPN New York suite hosted by Peter Rosenberg. Enjoy the energy of the Garden, the comfort of a private suite, and world-class UFC action alongside one of New York's biggest sports personalities. To enter, find the contest tile on the ESPN New York app to submit your entry. It's brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of UFC. Now, we are going to take your phone calls leading up to Don Hahn and Rosenberg. It's when you get to be the co-host with me. You know the number, 1-800-919-3776. YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN. We'll be back with the finish of the show, leading you to 3 o'clock with Don Hahn and Rosenberg right here on ESPN New York.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Looking for the best internet deal? It's just a fast phone call away. Only Optimum Fiber Internet delivers the fastest and most reliable fiber internet starting at just $40 a month. That's right, lightning-fast fiber internet at a price that won't slow you down. Call 888-4OPTIMUM today to lock in your offer in just a few minutes and see how you can also get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle and an unlimited mobile line on us. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Terms apply.
YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, the NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. Now, they converted my kids' bathtub to a shower and did an incredible, really an unbelievable job. They offer all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit done in just one day. Durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and lower cost than a standard replacement. And a lifetime guarantee. Right now, no money down, no payments, no interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today like we did at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like replacing my bike in case of an accident?
Progressive's total loss coverage can help with that.
Great. And you also agree with me that my riding club should ride to the aquarium instead of cruising around a mountain, right?
Actually, we just do insurance. We don't vote in riding clubs.
Nice. 2 votes for the turtle exhibit.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
What are you, some kind of turtle hater?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Well, New York soccer fans, the Audi 2025 MLS Cup playoffs, they're here. On Saturday, November 1st, New York City FC returns to Yankee Stadium for Game 2. They won Game 1 of their best-of-3 series against Charlotte FC. Kickoff is set for 3:30 p.m. For your chance to be there, enter now at ESPNNewYork.com or through the ESPN New York app. Just click the Contest tab and submit your entry. Don't miss this opportunity to experience playoff soccer as the boys in blue begin their chase for the cup. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com/NYCFC. I have to apologize because I know you've grown accustomed to my face, and you've not seen my face today because we've had a problem with the Ganoitny and Flaherty of our YouTube channel. So we have not been able to transmit the pictures that you've grown accustomed to. Hopefully you're continuing to hear my voice, and you're hearing the content of the show and the great guest Mike Lupica that we had, but we do apologize. We should have this fixed at some point today. Hopefully tomorrow's show you'll be able to enjoy visually. But you've not been able to do that today. Don't think it's gone forever. It's gone because the Ganoitny and the Flaherty broke, and we're working on fixing it. Got it? Good. If you watched the Knicks and the Bucks on NBC yesterday, after the game, they played a clip of Michael Jordan. It's going to be continuing throughout the year, where Mike Tirico talked to Jordan about load management. Because Jordan, I think, had 11 seasons where he played 80 or more games. And he talked about the importance of being on the court all the time. For the guy that spent a lot of money for the top row when the Bulls would go into Detroit, he owed it to that guy. He also owed it to his team to have the continuity, to have people on the court every single day. And as I was watching it, I kind of got a little depressed because I don't think that any of the players today care what Michael Jordan said. It doesn't resonate with them. It doesn't resonate with them. He said, you know what your load management is? You play 2.5 to 3 hours a day when you have a game. He said it's what you do with the other 21 hours of the day. That's how you prepare to play the next game, not load management. He made a lot of good points. Again, he's probably what we would consider a dinosaur. I get it. But doesn't it make sense what he's saying? You're paid to play 82 games. Now, if you're hurt, you shouldn't play. You absolutely should not play if you're hurt. And I would never question somebody's injury. But legitimately, there are people that take games off because, you know what? I've got to be ready for the long haul. You get ready for the long haul by what you do in the summer. Kobe Bryant didn't take games off. And you hear all these players, I'm trying to have the Mamba mentality. Really? Do you play every day? Do you play every game? Because you don't have the Mamba mentality if you don't play every game. Kobe Bryant actually stayed in the game with a torn Achilles to shoot a free throw. Every time Kobe Bryant was healthy, he played. He didn't rest games. And I don't just blame the players because it's the coaches that started. As great of a coach as he is and as legendary, as iconic as he is, it really started with Greg Popovich. And now it's taken off. And we've been talking a lot about tickets today with the Nets and the Jets and all that. The fact that you would rook people of watching a great player because that's his day to be off, and they spent the money to go to that game, unconscionable that it's allowed. So the NBA did the best it could do. You're not eligible for a big postseason award if you don't play in 65 of the 82 games. Think about that. They're allowing you to miss 17 games. That number should be 72. If you don't play in 72 of the 82 games, you cannot win a postseason award. Can't be MVP. And then there were some players that complained about that. Again, I'm not arguing about injuries. People get hurt. It's a tough way to make a living. The body doesn't stand up. And if you're legitimately hurt, then you should be sitting. You should never sit if you could play just because it's a rest day. Let's go to Rich in Florida. Rich.
Hello, Mike.
Hi, Rich.
I'm the guy who had talked to you about meeting Sandy Koufax, but that's not why I'm calling.
Okay.
I'm calling mainly to basically compliment you. I watch all the Yankee games, but unfortunately, I don't get yes on every game, so I have to listen to the other networks on the package. I know you work for the Yankees, and sure, I think you want the Yankees to win, but you are the most unbiased announcer that I listen to. I mean, I listen to him from whether it's Boston or Baltimore or Toronto. They're definitely all extremely, but they're like cheerleaders. Well, you guys do the game, and although we know you want the Yankees to win, it's still an unbiased presentation.
Well,
so I want to compliment you on that, and thanks again for taking my call.
Well, thank you for making the call. That's really kind of you. And you know what? I got to give the Yankees credit, because the Yankees do own a large portion of the Yes Network, and they have never said, don't say something, don't be critical. The only marching orders that I've ever had in 24 years on the air, say what you want, but just don't keep hammering it home. You want to criticize somebody, you have every right to criticize it. Somebody's not playing well, you don't agree with something, say it. Just don't keep hammering it home. And I think that is a fair thing to say. Because people are tuning in, and they don't want to hear all negative either. So I give the Yankees credit for allowing it. I always tell the story, before he got the Yankee gig, Jim Cott was offered the Cubs gig on TV. And they told him the one thing that, you've got to root for the team. He said, I'm not going to do that. Well, then we can't have you as a Cub announcer. He said, then I don't want to be. But there's a lot of fan bases that expect their announcers to say good guys won, bad guys nothing. In New York, we don't have to do that. Gary Cohen is very critical of the team when they deserve it. We're very honest about it. I think everybody in New York is very honest. I think that's what the fan base expects and demands, and I'm happy that I'm able to do it. Is it great for Yes Network and for the fans if the Yankees win? Sure it is. Not going to deny that. And that's probably the optimum outcome, but I'm not rooting on the air. I'm just not. And I'm never going to put lipstick on a pig. I try not to, so thank you for Rich for noticing that. But I still get called Yankee boy, so I love it. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Hopefully we'll get the video up tomorrow. We'll be back again tomorrow. We've got our great guest, as we always do, on Thursday, Dan Orlovsky, Chris Sims. We'll talk about Game 5 of the World Series. The series is tied 2 games apiece. You can listen to it on ESPN New York tonight. Should be a great game from L.A. Coming up, Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. See everybody. Talk to you tomorrow at 1. Shop new fall offers at Bay Ridge Mazda. Lease a 2025 Mazda CX-30S for as low as $199 per month, or finance for 2.9% APR for 36 months. Or the 2025 Mazda